Saludos a todos and welcome to the continuation of the special episode of the comeback of Xalisco says. On the last segment I talked about the Wiimote and some of the flaws and, well, not so much flaws. And this episode I'm going to talk about the other motion sensor devices for the games. So this is the first one, you already saw it, this is the Wiimote. The Wiimote uses a sensor bar that I don't actually brought here because this is only about the controllers. Okay, I already talked about the controller itself. Now the motion sensor doesn't work all the time. I mean, it works really good with the games. It actually uses the motion sensor, like with sports and we play and with sports resorts. There's not many, but it's actually pretty good. The sensor bar is really thin, doesn't actually need powering up. It just connects to the slot especially made for it in the Wii, and doesn't it's not so that big. It's this long or so. It's two sensors that detect the infrared, I believe. I'm not really sure how these motion sensoring works, just out of my head. I'm not really sure, I'm not a scientist. So you point it and, well, move it around. It detects the infrared emitted from here, I think. And, well, that's pretty much it. It works most of the time. Sometimes when you have to turn it so slightly, or lift it or incline it, because that counts, sometimes it doesn't detect so well. That's why they made the Wii Motion Plus, which at first you attached it in here, like I said before, so separate back then, and right now as well for this kind of model of the Wiimote. The Wii Motion Plus, what it did was, I think, not really sure, didn't get it myself, I'm not really sure what it did. They just made it work better. Not really sure why. Anyways, that's from here. This is the motion sensor we all know. This is the very first of the new gen consoles, the very first motion sensor device. Later, I'm not really sure which one first, if Microsoft or Sony, but I'm going to talk about Microsoft first because it's the one I got next, and this is it. Now you might be saying, Xalisco, that's no controller. Well, you are the controller, or so says the advertisement. That's right, this thing doesn't require a control to function. These cameras things detect your body motion. Now that's motion sensor for you. What it does, well, there's not that many games exclusively for the Kinect. There are some ports for for other games like Harry Potter, the newest game, I think. I haven't played any of live action, the game-based things. I only play the Lego games. Well, I'm not, just a little. Yeah. Anyways, I think I saw the box said it was Kinect compatible. So I'm curious about how that works, because seriously I don't really know how that would work. The Kinect games, the exclusive ones, scan your body or something. I'm not really sure. And you're the one playing the game, quote unquote. You see, there's your virtual image in the game, like the racing game, which I don't have. The only game Kinect I have for the Kinect right now is the one it included, the Kinect Joyride Adventures, but I'm planning on getting some more later, after I get some more games of another thing. There's not really that many good games for the Kinect right now, I must admit. Well, they are, but it's too expensive. Technicisms. So the thing is there, you don't have to use a controller. Now, this wanted to be as simple as it could be, so other people who are not gamers could play games. Now with this Kinect thing, the thing with here is that since you don't have the controller, technically you could play any game, but all people can't play. Well, most of all people can play. People without a good physical condition can't play. Well, they can, but it won't last that long. Yeah, they have its limitations. Yeah. Well, true. It has so many ways to use it aside from gaming. Have you seen the hacks they've made for the Kinect? They're awesome. I've watched a few, and they blew my mind. I mean, how could you do such things with a gaming console device? Wow. Just wow. Just look for some. Beware for the dirty ones, which actually are, but Rule 34 people, don't look it up. So yeah, that's a Kinect. Pretty cool. It has so much, how's it called? It can be used for so many things. It just hasn't happened yet. It will, believe me, it will. Now for the last part of this motion sensor thing, we have the PlayStation Move. Yeah, recently acquired by me, for me, yeah. I'm in debt for the next 18 months, but I have my PS3 now, which came with this, the PlayStation Move. Kinda fun looking, isn't it? Like, you could say it's the deformed brother of the Wiimote or something. Actually, I don't think it's looking quite well with this light. Anyways, this thing, I don't really know how it works. It's really strange, I must say. It works wonderfully. I only have one game, the one that came with this, the sports game. I don't remember the name. The thing is, when you turn this thing on, the little globe, this thing here glows in a different color. Mine glows pink. I don't want it to glow pink, but it glows pink anyways. Now, the thing here is that it should work as the Wiimote was supposed to work. Like, you just mount the controller, it's easy to use for... Why is it? It's easy to use for a lot of people, and it's intuitive. Or is it? I'm not really sure, I haven't played a lot with it. I'm just saying that this thing is really cool. Also, let's count the buttons. We know that on the Wiimote alone, there are 9 buttons. On the Kinect, there are no buttons, you're the controller. But in this, let's see. We have the usual, the Sony trademark gaming control, triangle, square, X, and circle. Pretty straightforward. There are 4 buttons here. This here is a big button, like the A in the Wiimote to accept choices. But here is the trigger, which I don't think... Well, it's the T trigger, I suppose. T. It has a T here. So that's 4, 5, 6 buttons here. These select and start in here. And also the PlayStation logo to go to the menu, home menu. So let's recap. That's 4 here, 5, 6, 7 buttons. 2 less than the Wii remote. Let's compare them to see what's different. Okay, so we have the A button and the big button here, which you can't really see, but trust me, it's here. We have the D-pad. This one doesn't have a D-pad. We have the plus and minus. We have Start and Select. We have Home button. We have PlayStation logo. We have 1 and 2. We have Square and Triangle. And X and Circle. We have Power button. We don't have Power button. Did I say Power button? I believe no. And we have the triggers. So one big thing you might notice is we don't have the D-pad here. Also, 1, 2, well, why is there less buttons here than here? Now I'm confused. Okay, let's recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, silly me, I forgot the Start and Select buttons. There are 9 buttons here as well as here. I was just... I counted the same and front and back. What the hell? No. The Start and Select buttons, of course. Of course! No. One more thing. When you're playing like this, the minus and plus buttons are quite inaccessible, as well as the 1 and 2, which you usually use when you're playing like that. Here you have all the buttons right here. It's kinda weird when you're holding the controller, but you can actually use all 6 buttons properly. Start and Select, well, kinda hard to reach the select button. Like this, it's hard to reach the buttons. Like, well, you could... Yeah, it's awkward, but not as hard as the Wiimote. So, congrats on that. So that's all for the 3 main 3-gen companies and their motion sensors. The Wiimote, the one I have, might look outdated compared to the other 2, and the new ones are as well. One thing with this is if you block the glowing thing, you can still use it. Don't know how that works. One thing with this, if you block this black rectangle here, it stops working. Yeah. Other thing, a flaw with this is that sometimes it doesn't recognize you, and the movements you make are weird on the screen. Also, this thing has an internal battery. It charges with this cable, the USB mini USB cable, which is fairly easy to find because most of the cameras, at least the old ones, no, the new ones, came with one of these. Downside, if you want to charge this on your PlayStation 3, tough luck, it has to be on. This here, if you have the Xbox 360 Slim, it connects just like this, USB and, well, strange USB thing, and right in, ready to play. If you're using one of the old ones like I am, it comes with an adapter to plug to the Xbox and one to the electrical current. What are you going to do? I don't have the money to buy a Slim, so I am stuck like this. Anyways, tune in the next episode, in the next part, the final part of this special episode of the comeback of Xalisco Says, for some Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo's curious stuff. Oh, Xalisco out.